Hello and welcome back to Mr. Allred's 5 Minutes On. Today I'm going to be talking about aims and objectives. Whilst this is in the GCSE specification, this is really going to focus on an A-level standard of understanding. So there will be some basic information in there for a GCSE student, but really it's for A-levels. So let's get going then. So what is an aim? Well, an aim is a long-term target of an organisation. It's something the organisation wants to achieve in the long term. Often this is linked to profit or to growth or survival. But now most businesses will change this aim into what we call a mission statement. A statement, a few sentences about themselves, which sort of capitalizes who they are, what they want to do, and what they want to achieve in the long run. These therefore then are usually plastered over their websites and in their businesses and those sort of things to tell people, all their stakeholders, their employees, their customers, what they're about and what they want to achieve. If we look then at objectives, these are short to medium term targets. These are targets that are designed to help the business achieve the aim. So if you want to visualize this, the best thing to think about is a staircase. If you think about the aim being the overall thing the business wants to achieve at the top, and you think about the objectives are the steps along the way to achieve that aim. Each step that the business takes is helping them to get closer and closer to that aim. Objectives then are always SMART. SMART is an acronym and it stands for specific, measurable, agreed, realistic and time specific. Now if we look at those, what does that actually mean? Well, specific, the objective has got to state clearly what needs to be done. So all the employees, everybody involved in that understands what they're trying to achieve. It's got to be measurable. There's no point having an objective that you can't measure. You can't say that you've achieved it or not. There has to be something measurable. Often that might be an increase in market share, an increase in sales revenue, something that you can measure and say, actually, we've made a tangible impact here. It has to be agreed. All the parties involved, all the employees have to be able to agree to it and understand it. Otherwise, somebody's not going to pull in the right direction and therefore you're never going to achieve that objective. It's got to be realistic, taking into consideration all of the resources, all the human resources, the financial resources that the business has available. Human resources is a real factor, especially, do they have the skills? Do they have the training needed in order to do this objective that we've set them? And it needs to be time specific. Again, to enable that measurable, there's no point saying I want to increase profit by 10 million quid, say, for example, with no time frame. That could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It might happen in the long run. It needs to have a time frame to allow for an evaluation of that objective. So in terms of objectives that businesses might set, there are two real main ones. The first one being survival. Survival is key for all businesses. And if you think about the current time, during the lockdown, that's a massive thing that most businesses will revert into, is going into survival mode. That might come with some cost cutting, that might come with some letting some staff go, that might come with finding ways to make sure that we're maximizing the amount of profit we can get from each and every product that we sell. It might be trying to ensure that our customers, our core customers, are getting what they want. And often some businesses might do retrenchment. They might move back from markets that aren't their core. If they've expanded, they might move back to what they're good at and their core and ensure that that keeps on going. Profit maximization is the other one that most people are familiar with. It's about making the most profit possible in a given time period. Now often this is going to come with two things. That's going to come with reducing our costs and finding cost efficiencies, and also increasing prices. But this has to be balanced against consumers. Consumers obviously want the best possible good at the best possible price. So I don't want to put my prices up too much and give them inferior quality products, because that might just not sell at all. So it's about balancing between my costs, my price, and what consumers want and need from me. Often manufacturers who do profit maximize will engage in things like price skimming. Apple and the iPhone's a prime example. They use price skimming. It's a really high price and that attracts customers to them, and that's how they are able to profit maximize. Other objectives that businesses might set, well, sales maximization, flooding markets with products. They might look at increasing their market share, cost efficiency, employee welfare. So they might set objectives to improve employee welfare and improve employee-employer relationships, and customer satisfaction, ensuring customers are happy with the products, but often they link in to either survival or profit maximization. So why do we set objectives? Well, it's goal setting. It sets a clear objective for the future of where the business wants to be and enables everybody to pull towards that one goal, and as a result can provide motivation. I can set targets against that, I can set bonuses against that, and that gives that motivation for people to improve. As a result, I've got a cohesive unit of people moving towards the same thing. I've not got different parts of my organization doing different things. I've got one cohesive group of people moving in the right direction. Finally, it prevents what we call strategic drift. It prevents sort of the lapse of concentration from management. It prevents them from drifting into other things, because strategic drift, if left unchecked, can lead to business failure. So it prevents the management and the owners of an organization from drifting into other projects. It keeps them honest, it keeps them focused, and as a result keeps the business moving in the direction that the owner and the shareholders and the management want. This has been Mr. Allred's 5 minutes on. Please like the video and please subscribe to the channel.